Welcome to Accounting High.
Check out the Cash Flow Show. We discuss topics like getting paid on time, profitability, and managing your bottom line, payroll best practices, the best apps to use, and cash flow forecasting tools. So if you're a small business owner, your help's right around the corner. Fret not. Tune in as Scott and Nikole help you reach your goals on the Cash Flow Show. The Cash Flow Show. Listen and learn. We'll show you how to pay yourself on what your business earns. With Nikole and OKR.
Welcome back, students. What's up, Nikole?
Hello, sir.
This is part 3 on how to measure your marketing dollars. We are maximizing our ROI today. ROI, part 3, third acronym. Miss Mackenzie, what does this ROI mean?
We're bringing everything together here. So we talked about lifetime value. We talked about customer acquisition costs. None of those numbers really matter unless we actually use them to figure out what our return on investment is. So here's where we get the actual answer. And here's where we get to the actual meat of why we've been talking about all this.
Yeah. What does this mean to you, Mr. Mrs. Business Owner? You're spending all this money on acquiring new clients, and we're figuring out what that value is of those new clients that you're acquiring. Now, what does this return? How much money are you getting back? How much are you earning on this investment in marketing?
Right. So we want to know if we spend $1 on marketing, how much do we get back? Is it $3? Is it $5? Is it $10? Is it $15? And whatever that dollar amount is that good? So this will be a short episode because it's actually very simple, the calculation. So we've already calculated our LTV. We've already calculated our CAC. So what we're going to do is we're just going to divide our lifetime value by our customer acquisition cost. And that's going to give us our ROI ratio.
Yeah. And for a little quick review, your LTV is your customer lifetime value. And it's basically the average value that a customer is worth for you. Just to figure out, just to give a concrete example of what this ROI even means. Part 2, we talked about CAC. So we got this LTV, lifetime value of a customer, and then our customer acquisition cost. How did we come up with the customer acquisition cost?
So the customer acquisition cost was just the total marketing costs that we had, total marketing and sales costs, including labor and other hard costs for a period of time divided by the number of customers we acquired during that time.
Okay. So now we're just dividing the other one into it. Give me an example now. What does this mean? So the example we've used all throughout, right? This 54,000.
Yep. So we didn't do an example in the second episode, but I do have an example here on my calculator that I showed in the video. And so the customer acquisition costs I came up with here, we spent $3,000 a month on an in-house employee. And then we had a marketing contractor that cost $1,500. And then we calculated the time spent by the business owner and another employee ended up costing around $2,600 a month. So the total was $7,000 a month that we calculated we were spending on marketing.
Okay. So that's your CAC then, $7,000 a month in client acquisition cost.
And that's an average of one client per month. So it's the 7,000 divided by one client a month. If we take 54,000 divided by that 7,120, then our ROI ratio is about 7.5.
7.5. What does that mean?
It means for every $1 that we invest in marketing, we get 7.5 back.
Okay. And practically, if we got one client a month, we're getting about the lifetime value is 54,000. And if we're spending 7,000 a month to get that, you're dividing one into the other, that's our 7 point whatever dollars. Mm-hmm. So is that good?
Good question. So in general, if that's actually a great number. So we want this ratio to be 3 to 1 or better. So for every $1 that we spend on marketing, we want to get at least 3 back.
You don't want this number to be less than 1.
No, you don't. But think about the reason we want 3 to 1 is because even after we spend that money, right, we still have to cover our overhead costs. So that basically gets us, so even a 1 to 1, we're going to end up losing money. So it needs to be at least 3, and that's just okay. So ideally it's like 4 to 1's great. 5 to 1 is awesome. And actually 5 to 1 or better means that you might be under investing in marketing if you're trying to grow, and that whatever you're doing, like you should do more of it.
Okay. So in some cases, these numbers could be, your CAC could be really low and the customers are worth a lot. And if that's the case, you probably should be investing more in things that are working in some of your marketing spend. So
you have a great business model in that. It's probably a less commoditized business model, maybe more of a service based, versus if you're very commoditized type of online business, you may have a pretty low ROI. That's going to trickle down to your profit and loss statement. You're probably on pretty thin margins.
Yeah. So if you are a race to the bottom with your pricing, you are highly commoditized. And if that's the case, then you should reconsider your model too.
Yeah. But it all comes down to the numbers, right? Because if you have low margins, but you can pump unlimited amount of marketing dollars and always get, 1 to 4 return, then just keep pumping it, right? And then, the model works. But a lot of times I see is people spend money on marketing without knowing what the return goes back to. The don't grow business. They're spending money on marketing to grow a business, and they're not profitable. And then it just ends up, they're borrowing debt to invest in marketing, and then they're not generating profits to be able to pay that debt back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Understanding all of this is the first step, at least. What's the next step? Once they understand what all this stuff means, where should they go?
Well, I also think that this exercise is really helpful with pricing too. So like in our industry, right, you get a lot of people that are like, oh, our minimum's X, and trying to figure out like what your minimum pricing is. So it may not make sense for you to bring on a customer under X amount because the cost to acquire that customer is too great. So then we know, remember we had another episode about our walkaway price. That's sort of our walkaway minimum pricing that we are going to offer for our customers. And that goes back to like, do you want to be more of a white glove, high value type product, or do you want to be more of a low cost and then find ways to acquire those customers at a lower cost?
So again, it's just the first step. Then what to do with it is the most important. You can calculate your ROI. Nikole has created a marketing ROI calculator for you. We have the link in the show notes for that, for you to start exploring these concepts and measuring your marketing dollars.
And if you have any questions, I'd love to get your feedback on the ROI calculator. Feel free to email me at sales@momentumaccounting.com if you have any thoughts on it or have any questions about how to do these calculations.
Dope. Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us on this 3-part series on measuring your marketing dollars. I hope it was helpful. If you like our show, please leave us a review. Leave some comments on whatever your podcast player or player of your choice. Thanks, homies.
Thanks, Scott. See you later.
Peace out.
So you're drowning in cash flow issues. You run a business, but feel like it's running you. Customers won't pay, but you got bills due. It appears you won't have enough for payroll coming up soon. It seems like you're running nowhere fast. You work hard, but never able to withdraw cash from the business. You get more customers, hire more employees, but still take home hardly anything. You feel like you're on a hamster wheel, frustrated because the battle's always uphill. Even though you got a bookkeeper on your team, they send you reports, but you don't really know what they mean. Your CPA doesn't understand a thing about your business, at least that's how it seems. But if you want to get above water and grow, check out the Cash Flow Show. This is the Cash Flow Show, where we help the small business gain momentum and become profitable. This is the Cash Flow Show. Listen and learn. We'll show you how to pay yourself on what your business earns. discuss topics like getting paid on time, profitability, and managing your bottom line, payroll best practices, the best apps to use, and cash flow forecasting tools. So if you're a small business owner, your help's right around the corner. Fret not. Tune in as Scott and Nikole help you reach your goals on the Cash Flow Show. The Cash Flow Show, where we help the small business gain momentum and become profitable. This is the Cash Flow Show. Listen and learn. We'll show you how to pay yourself on what your business earns. Cash Flow Show. Our advice will take you far. Cash Flow Show. Tune in with Nikole and OKR.